It's Sasha from the Revelstoke Library, and today I'm going to read you a story by Oliver Jeffreys called Lost and Found. It's a great story. It's also a lovely story about friendship. Here we go. Once there was a boy, and one day he found a penguin at his door. Could you imagine? The boy didn't know where it had come from, but it began to follow him everywhere. The penguin looked sad, and the boy thought he must be lost. So the boy decided to help the penguin find its way home. He checked in the Lost and Found office, but no one was missing a penguin. Probably not, no. He asked some birds if they knew where the penguin came from, but they ignored him. Some birds are like that, yeah. Oh, good idea. The boy asked his duck, but the duck floated away. He didn't know. Oh. That night, the boy couldn't sleep for disappointment. He wanted to help the penguin, but he didn't know how. Oh, dear. The next morning, he discovered that penguins come from the South Pole. But how could he get there? He ran down the harbor and asked a big ship to take them to the South Pole. But his voice was much too small to be heard over the ship's horn. Help! See, he's way down there. And the penguin's right there. So, oh boy, together he and the penguin would row to the South Pole, of course. The boy took his rowboat out of the cupboard and they tested it for size and strength. Always good to do. They packed everything they would need and together they pushed the rowboat out to sea. Could you imagine? Amazing. They rowed south for many, many days. Look at them there. And nights with the boy telling stories all the way. The penguin listened to everything the boy said. It's lovely. They floated through good weather and bad weather when the waves were as big as mountains. My goodness gracious. They do get really big out in the middle of the sea. Until they came to the South Pole. Look at that. There's even a sign saying South Pole. The boy was delighted, but the penguin said nothing. Suddenly it looked sad again as the boy helped to get out of the boat. Oh, I wonder why the penguin looks sad. The boy said goodbye and floated away. But as he looked back, the penguin looked sadder than ever. I think I know why. It felt strange to be on his own, and the more he thought, the more he realized he was making a big mistake. The penguin wasn't lost. He was just lonely. Quickly, he turned the boat around and headed back to the South Pole as fast as he could. Oh, look at that. He's on his umbrella, the penguin. At last, he reached the pole again. But where was the penguin? The boy searched and searched, but he was nowhere to be found. Oh, no. Sadly, the boy set off for home. There was no point telling stories because there was no one to listen, except for the wind and the waves. But then the boy saw something in the water ahead of him. Closer and closer he got, until he could see. What does he see? Yay, the penguin. Oh, great, they're together again. And so the boy and his friend went home together, talking of wonderful things along the way. Oh, it's such a good story. I love it so much. Look at that. You can see the whales underneath the ocean there. Thanks, everybody, for listening today to my story, Lost and Found. Hope you have a lovely day.